Today's Daddy Data subject is sleep, a very important part of today's balanced breakfast. Today's subject is sleep, a very important part of your life. Something I might be able to help you out, get a little bit more, I'm not sure. So from the beginning, we had a pretty good time with sleep. We had a very healthy baby, which probably helped out a lot. And what we did was, within the first month, it was our goal to get him in his own bed. A very important part of getting a kid into a routine is putting them in their own room, in their own surroundings, and working with them to replicate the womb or whatever until they get used to the real world. Now, that's not to say we didn't have Gibson sleep in our room for the first 2 weeks, a month, mostly in a bassinet. He very, very rarely slept in our bed, handful of times, just in the worst of nights, trying to figure it out. But within a month, we got him in a swaddle, which really, really helped us out. We bought the Velcro swaddles that locks them in. They're not getting out. Those ones where you're trying to wrap up a bow or something like that, I don't find that ever really worked out for me as a man with fumbly fingers. When I could lock him in with the Velcro, he was safe and secure, and it replicated the womb so well. Once he was in a swaddle, we got him into his room. He had a very good time sleeping. What we did was we used this. It's a sleep sheet. It replicates the sound of the womb. It's got a little sensor in it. It's supposed to restart itself once it hears the kid crying, but it will last for 45 minutes, and I found that wasn't long enough. So what we actually did was we taped this on an iPod and played it on repeat throughout the whole night. That way, if he ever woke up, he had the sound he was used to of the womb. He was all wrapped up, and typically it was just putting a soother back in that got him back to bed. When they get old enough to flip over, a swaddle doesn't work out because they're pretty much trapped without their arms to flip back over. That's when we upgraded to a sleep sack. This is a Starfish sleep sack by Zipadee-zip. It's very expensive. You might be able to find something close to it, but it's moving around. Might be able to find something close to it, but these were like $50 shipped. And everyone on the internet said to try this thing once he couldn't be in a swaddle anymore. We tried this thing kind of right out of the box, and he wanted his arms still kind of swaddled up. And what this does is it allows him to suck on his fingers. He's not able to put a soother in at this point by himself, so you can see how brown these things got. They're disgusting. We ended up getting another one of these once he kind of got too big for it. But he loved this thing, and it would put him to bed right away. Then once he could kind of grab the soother on his own, we upgraded to this thing. It is a sleep sack. I think my cousin made it. We have a few of them. He still uses these today. Just allows him to have a blanket he can't strangle himself with. But allows him access to his arms. You put short sleeves on him or long sleeves in the winter, and then you can put the soother in his mouth. And we actually use glow-in-the-dark soothers too, so he's always able to see them in the dark. And at this point, you can hear on this monitor, there is a lullaby playing in his room. We ripped a lullaby that's 2 hours long off YouTube, and I put it on an iPod, and he listens to it almost the whole night. If he wakes up, we usually go and restart it, but it's 2 hours long, and it'll stop itself. And it's this familiar song that he kind of knows it's nap time when he hears it. We close the shades, and he goes to bed most of the time pretty well. He's been sick lately, so we've had some trouble sleeping. He's gotten a lot of teeth lately, so he's had some trouble sleeping. But for the most part, for the good 8 months of our first 10 or 11 months with Gibson, we've had a really good sleep, a really good time sleeping through the night. Mommy watches this monitor too much, It's a Lavana. It has lots of fancy features, and she might obsess over it when he first goes to bed a little bit too much, or if he wakes up during the night. I find it's better to just, if you're putting him down for a nap, ignore this and just be in earshot, and it might help him get a better sleep once he's figured it out on his own, rather than you're rushing in every time you see him. But I recommend this. It's a really good monitor. It doesn't have a very good battery life. Oh, Omni's home. Hey, what are you doing, bud? Are you awake from your nappies? Aww. Hey, are you little baby? Cutie baby, cutie. Lavana monitor we have. It's a little egg-shaped thing. It has a movement feature. It goes up, down, left, right. I found mounting it on the wall like that done pretty well. It has lots of features, little tablet interface. You can record video on it and whatnot. You can talk to the kid. But, we mostly just use it to watch the kid. The rest of the features are just kind of fun for a day or so. Another thing is little trinkets, or loveys as my wife calls them. He started off with this tiger as one of his first toys, and he seems to really like to sleep with it. Also, we try to give him something he can snuggle up to, this little alien, but I don't know if he really even likes that thing. But he usually sleeps with those two things. Also, very important, is a good humidifier. Especially when it looks like this outside. It gets very dry.